A year ago, I made a decision that seemed small at the time. I was sitting at home, scrolling through stories of cancer patients, people going through chemotherapy, losing their hair, losing a piece of themselves they never agreed to give up. And something inside me shifted. I looked at my own hair and thought, what if this could mean something? What if I could give something back? That was the moment this journey began. I want to be honest with you. I had no idea what I was getting into. I didn't know how long it would take. I didn't know how many inches were required. I didn't know which organization to donate to or what the process even looked like. I just knew I wanted to do it. So I started researching. I found that most organizations require a minimum of 8 to 12 inches of hair. It needs to be clean, uncolored, and free of damage. I measured what I had, realized I needed to keep growing, and made peace with that. The journey officially began. The first few months were honestly exciting. I was committed. I told a few close friends and family what I was doing, and the reactions were everything. Some were surprised, some were emotional, and some just smiled and said they always knew I would do something like this. That support meant more than I expected. It kept me going on the days when I looked in the mirror and just wanted a fresh cut. And those days came. Around month 4 and 5, the frustration started creeping in. My hair felt heavy. It was harder to manage. Bad hair days felt personal somehow, like the universe was testing whether I actually meant what I said. I remember one evening just sitting there, tired, and thinking, is this even worth it? And then I remembered why I started. I thought about a person sitting in a hospital room, looking at their reflection after chemo, not recognizing themselves. And just like that, the frustration didn't matter anymore. I kept going. Month 6 was a turning point. I was halfway there, and it started to feel real. The hair was long enough now that people were noticing. Strangers would compliment it. And every single time I would smile and think, you have no idea where this is going. There was something quietly powerful about carrying that secret intention every single day. By month 8 and 9, I had found my rhythm. I had picked my organization, one that provides free wigs to children and adults going through cancer treatment. I read their stories. I watched videos of people receiving their wigs for the first time. The tears, the smiles, the moment they looked in the mirror and saw themselves again. I saved those videos. On hard days, I watched them. Every single time, it reminded me exactly why I was doing this. The final stretch, months 10, 11, and 12, felt like the last miles of a long run. I was tired, but I could see the finish line. I scheduled the appointment. I told my family. I prepared the night before, washed my hair, let it dry naturally, tied it carefully the way the organization instructed. I barely slept. Not because I was nervous exactly, but because I knew that tomorrow was going to mean something. The morning of the cut, I sat in that chair and my hands were actually shaking a little. My hairdresser asked me one last time, "Are you absolutely sure?" And I said yes, without hesitation. Yes. She tied the ponytail carefully, measured twice, and then I heard the sound of the scissors. One clean cut. A full year. Gone in a single second. And I felt something I did not expect. I felt completely free. Not sad, not empty. Free. And full of something I still don't have the right word for. Purpose, maybe. Or just peace. I held that ponytail in my hands for a long moment. 12 inches. 1 year. Hundreds of days of patience, frustration, commitment, and quiet hope, all tied up in something that fit in the palm of my hand. I packaged it carefully that same day and sent it off. And I stood at that mailbox for a minute longer than I needed to, just breathing, just feeling the weight of what that moment actually was. To whoever receives this, I want you to know that every single day of this past year, I was thinking about you. I didn't know your name. I didn't know your story. But you were the reason I kept going every time I wanted to stop. You were the reason I said yes when everything in me wanted comfort and convenience. I hope when you look in the mirror, you see yourself. I hope you feel strong. I hope you feel beautiful. Because you are, in ways that have nothing to do with hair and everything to do with the fight you are showing up for every single day. And to anyone watching this who has been thinking about doing something similar, please do it. You don't have to be a certain type of person. You don't need a perfect reason or a perfectly timed moment. You just need to decide. Grow it with intention. Give it with love. The rest takes care of itself. Hair grows back. But what you give someone in their hardest moment, that stays with them forever. Thank you for watching this. Thank you for caring enough to be here. And if this moved you even a little, share it. Because you never know whose life needs to hear exactly this today.